Hi, I'm Karissa Vacker, and welcome back to Sleep Wave, a podcast where we let waves of relaxation wash over you through original sleep meditations created to help you fall asleep tonight. And don't worry if you don't hear the end of an episode. I encourage you to drift off whenever you're ready. Have you ever heard of that little thought hack where instead of habitually saying, I have to, you change it to, I get to? So instead of, I have to go to work today, it's, I get to go to work today. I get to work out today. I get to study for this test. I get to go to sleep right now. This is something I always try to remember when I notice I'm getting stuck in a pattern of the have-tos. When I start saying, I get to instead, my whole feeling about whatever I'm about to do changes drastically. It's a reminder of how wildly powerful our minds are. We have the ability to direct our thoughts, which can affect the way we feel, the way we express ourselves, the way we move in the world. But directing our thoughts is something that takes a bit of awareness, effort, and practice to achieve. There are many times when our thoughts take us for a ride instead of the other way around. This morning, I was doing some much-needed yoga. It's been an extra busy week, and I woke up feeling depleted and stressed. Not a recipe for a great day. And yet, I had a full day, deadlines looming ahead of me. Despite this, I knew that if I didn't take care of myself first, that the work that I put out would not be of the quality that I want to put out into the world. So I did a short 20-minute yoga practice and pretty much felt like a new person afterwards. That's when the thought popped into my head. I get to go to work now. And I was excited about it. I was ready to put my energy there. I felt grateful to have a career I love so much. I appreciated so much about what I had the opportunity to do today. But the only thing that made it possible to reach that state was that I didn't try to push through the have-tos. I created space for myself to be exactly where I was, and I took care of myself first. Those 20 minutes made all the difference in my state of mind, and my state of mind affected my whole day. Meditation is such an incredible tool for shifting your state of mind, because in meditation, you are honing the skill of awareness. When you create the space to be aware, you create the space to make choices that serve you. Tonight, we are going to meditate on the power of the mind while creating that peaceful space for ourselves. Settle in, get cozy, and snuggle into your bed as we meditate together to Get to Know Your Mind by Billy Gill. Have you ever really considered what is meant by mind? It's one of the most fundamental parts of human existence, which is exactly why it's also such an elusive concept. In tonight's sleep meditation, we will delve into the meaning of mind and also discover that still, quiet place that appears as the mind becomes still and quiet. Find your way to a comfortable and relaxed position in your bed. Allow yourself plenty of time to make adjustments to your bedding and to your physical posture. Close your eyes and feel the soft support of your mattress beneath you. Say to yourself, silently in your mind, I will now practice sleep meditation. For the duration of this sleep meditation, I will remain very still. If you have to move, please do. Just make sure that you are conscious of any movements. As you settle into a calm and steady pose, gently bring your attention to the waves of breath that flow in and out. In the beginning, observe the breath with a sense of curiosity. Don't feel that the breath needs to behave in any particular way, but rather notice the quality of the breath in this moment. Is it moving slowly and smoothly? Is it erratic or coarse, deep or shallow? Without doing anything, try to observe your breath without judgment and simply let it be as it is. Gently invite your lower belly to rise and fall with the breath. As you inhale, the belly rises. As you exhale, the belly falls. Inhale, belly rising. Exhale, belly falling. Inhale, belly rising. Exhale, belly falling. Inhale, belly rising. Exhale, belly falling. Unless you have practiced observing your breath in this way, it's likely that you will associate positive and negative thoughts with how your breath is moving right now. This is something that the mind does habitually. In fact, that is one of the functions of the mind. It perceives and categorizes information. In yoga philosophy, the aspect of the mind that sorts the raw data of what it perceives is called manas. Everything you perceive in this case, every detail that you perceive about your breath, is being sorted and categorized and analyzed by the faculty of manas. If you feel that your breath is to this or to that, it is manas that is making that distinction. It's useful to apply this idea of manas to your own mind because it actually allows you to observe your own thoughts. Most of the time, we are so caught up in the thoughts themselves that we aren't able to observe the mind, which is the source of those thoughts. When we meditate, we are able to create a sense of space, a sense of detached observation, and we can observe the workings of the mind from another level of awareness. That other level of awareness is sometimes called buddhi. You may recognize how similar that word sounds to Buddha. The root is the same in each word. Bud means to awaken. Buddha means one who has awakened. And buddhi is the awakening principle. When the mind understands and is able to achieve deeper layers of insight about what it is perceiving, this is a higher level of mind. It corresponds to neural plasticity. As we engage in higher order thinking, our brains build new neural pathways and strengthen existing ones. These pathways help improve the flow of information and support the process of integrating complex information. The concept of awakening, to which buddhi refers, may represent a fundamental restructuring of our brains and the way we interpret the world. It's easy to see how powerful the mind is when we realize the potential it has to transform our lives. Continue to breathe slowly and smoothly, simply observing the mind as it follows the flow of your breath. The higher intellect, known as buddhi, sees more deeply into patterns of thinking. It is the faculty of the mind that creates meaning. When you hear a spoken word, you are really hearing a certain sound. In language, the human voice creates a vibration, and that vibration is shaped by the interplay of the teeth, tongue, palate, and lips into words. When you hear a word that you understand, the vibration is interpreted as being meaningful. Manas is the faculty of the mind that hears the vibration, but buddhi hears the meaning of the words. As you watch your belly rise and fall with the breath, listen to the vibrations of the breath, though they may be quiet and subtle. Listen deeply. You may begin to notice that the inhale is slightly cooler than the exhale as the air outside of your body falls in through the nose. The exhale feels warm, and perhaps you feel a deeper sense of release. Gradually, you may notice the mind beginning to assign meaning to these observations. This is another function of the mind. Continue breathing at your own pace for a few moments. As powerful as these mental abilities are, and as useful as it may be to understand different levels of the mind, there is still the tendency to become so absorbed in thinking that we are unable to access the inner silence that is even more profound than thought. This is why the ancient yogis developed many techniques for allowing the mind to become still and serene. Unless and until we are able to quiet the mind and observe a state of pure, conscious presence, we will always be constrained by the limits of thought. The openness that comes when the mind becomes still can bring us more fully into the present moment. The thinking mind tends to seek certainty and predictability. In a state of open presence, we tap into a vast expanse of consciousness that allows for creativity, insight, and a broader understanding of ourselves and the world. The third level of mind in yoga philosophy is called ahamkara, which literally means I maker. This is the faculty of mind that creates the sense of separateness, which is associated with the ego. The yoga tradition sees this sense of separateness as an illusion of the mind. When the mind becomes still and serene, the thought I dissolves. At other times, the mind identifies with its own thoughts. There is a concept of the self which is constantly defining and defending itself. Although it is a natural function of the mind, the ego can become rigid and inflexible. The energy that it takes to preserve the ego structure can leave us feeling drained and keep us from expanding into our full potential. Meditation helps us to at least soften the boundaries of the ego, to relax unnecessary tension and open up to new possibilities. When you observe your breath, you are observing your mind. With practice, the subtle changes in your inhale, exhale, and the pauses between them reveal layers of insight to your intelligence. As you notice how your breath is moving, also notice how your mind is moving. There is no need to assign a label to these movements. Language is one way that the mind remains in a perpetual state of activity. The ceaseless flow of thoughts, words, feelings, and emotions are like waves upon the ocean. Observe the constant fluctuations of the mind, like waves dancing upon the surface of the ocean. Imagine the mind as a kind of substance, just as water is the substance of the ocean. The waves represent the movements of the water, just as thought represents the movement of the mind substance. Bring your awareness to the manas, the thinking mind. Like a monkey swinging from branch to branch, the mind moves from one idea to another, sifting through events and people and places you've seen today. Allow this function of the mind to continue to play as it will without any judgment. Let the thoughts come and go as you breathe in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, shift your focus to buddhi, the intellect and the discerning aspect of your mind. Notice this level of the mind busily work at understanding, contemplating, evaluating every decision. As your mind creates new connections and explores new pathways of meaning in the world, it becomes like a rushing river as tributaries add to the flow of thought. Imagine yourself standing on the banks of this river, calmly appreciating the beauty and force of the river as a testament to nature's abundance that flows through you as well. Give yourself the opportunity to appreciate the river's energy by not getting caught up in its currents, which can easily overwhelm you. Take the attitude of a witness, and from a peaceful vantage point, let the river be a river. Let your mind be free to wander, but don't get caught up in its wandering. Your attention gradually follows the river gently back to its source in the calm, quiet waters of inner silence. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Overhead, clouds gather into heavy rain clouds. Distant rumbling announces an approaching rainstorm. As the warm vapor condenses into raindrops, each bead of water forms into a discrete individual, just as we have each adopted our own sense of I-ness through the faculty of Ahamkara, the eye maker. Each raindrop is distinct and separate from the other drops. They each have their own unique characteristics. As the raindrops fall into the ocean, they return to the source of their distinct individuality. Each individual raindrop has a particular beauty and singular importance. Yet, as the drop surrenders back into the ocean, it partakes of the whole. Recognize the unique importance of the sense of I, and simultaneously release it back into the ocean of consciousness from which it came and to which it returns. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. See the mind as a crystal clear lake, reflecting the scenery around it. The pristine surface of the water has become completely still. From time to time, a thought appears and causes the water to stir. The reflection becomes distorted fragments until the water again becomes calm and clear. Thoughts come from time to time and disturb the serene purity of the tranquil mind substance, obscuring the clear reflection. Let the waters naturally return to their placid stillness. Give space to what's arising and trust the process of meditation. That still, quiet place within is always there. We only need to let the fluctuations of the mind become still. The pristine beauty of reality appears. Follow the gentle rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. Let come what comes. Let go what goes. See what remains. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Breathe